The Pat McGann Show is presented to you by Tiege Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men.
I'm Joe Flamm. This is episode 14 of the Pat McGann Show.
All right, here we go. Welcome back. Man, I am very excited today. This is the 14th episode of the Pat McGann Show here at the Tiege Hanley Studios in the West Loop, if you can confirm that, because this guy knows all about the West Loop. We're joined today by Joe Flamm, who is the winner of, what was this? What season was it? Your Top Chef.
Season 15 of Top Chef.
Season 15, a Top Chef, Southsider, Marist High School graduate. We have a lot to talk about, dude.
Couple of alumnus here.
Yes, right?
Yeah, you're a Marist guy as well, right?
I am, yeah.
Go Red Hawks.
1994.
I was 2004.
2004.
A little behind you.
Little, yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are young, man. And look at everything you got going on. And we've had a little bit of dialogue online. I mean, this is, I think this is the second person I've had in here. Because we had Jeff Morrow in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff and I, we talked a little bit on Instagram, as we have.
Yeah.
Trying to get together.
Yeah, Jeff's a buddy, man. He's a good dude. You ever heard that guy sing?
No, but yeah, he's in the jewel bags.
Unbelievable, dude. First time we did a food and wine event, and he was singing karaoke late night. And I was like, holy shit.
This
guy's got pipes.
Yeah. He was just doing a cruise ship with his band. He's got like an 11-piece band, he said.
Yeah.
And they're all on
the jewel bags.
Yeah, that's a great name, too.
Yeah. And then his next door neighbor is like one of my good buddies' dads. So it's like weird, like all the, Southside shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I'm not supposed to swear on this
You
podcast.
can swear.
Somebody's got to tell me.
Yeah, no, that's good. And be yourself, man.
All right.
And I love that because it kind of confirms what I was thinking. Like, all you guys probably know each other.
Yes.
Is, the food kings of Chicago.
The Chicago restaurant industry is super small in general. And then when you get people who are from Chicago, too, who are working in it, it's like, we're basically related.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming in here because I know how busy you are. I don't really know, but you're opening a new joint. You got 4 spots already.
This will be number 4.
This will be number 4.
Yeah, this will be number 4.
Now I have been to Rosemary. That's the initial, the flagship. What do you call that?
That's the one that kind of started it for me. You know what I mean? That was my first restaurant. We opened that 4.5 years ago, and it's still humming. It's this weird little Adriatic concept I had, and was like, I don't know. It was something I was super interested in, and I hoped that like other people would be, but wasn't sure like, oh, this will go as well as it went.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many of us know. I don't know how. I don't want to insult my listeners, but can you be a little bit more elaborate when you say Adriatic? Because I'm not sure if everyone's going to follow it.
So Rosemary is a Croatian Italian restaurant. So my family, my mom's side is Italian. My wife's family is Croatian. When I met her, I didn't know anything about Croatia. I didn't know about Croatian food. I didn't know about any of that.
Just Tony Kukoc?
Just Tony Kukoc. That's all we all knew.
Yeah, right.
As Chicagoans. We're like, oh, Tony Kukoc, Is that your uncle? She's like, no.
It's like a Tony Kukoc, Vinny Del Negro combo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what it is. But the more I got into it, the more I learned about the culture and the huge, Balkan, Croatian population in Chicago. But there wasn't a ton of representation. You don't see those restaurants as much. You don't really see them anywhere. And when we traveled there, it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I don't know this food. I haven't cooked this food. It's different flavors. But the technique is, there was so much of it rooted in Italian cuisine that it like made sense to me. So I was like, if I took what I knew about Italian cuisine and Italian cooking and used that to try to kind of tell this Croatian story and make these dishes and make this food, I thought it could be something really unique and cool and different.
Sounds like a gamble too, though, if you're not really... Are you telling the investors that? I mean,
literally how I pitched this restaurant to my business partners was like, I just left Spiaggia. So I was working at, the most famous Italian restaurant in Chicago. I just went Top Chef. So they're like, yo, you want to open a restaurant? I'm like, yeah. So everybody thinks I'm going to open just a straight up Italian restaurant. They're like, what kind of restaurant do you want to open? I was like, Italian. They're like, perfect. They're like, what kind of Italian restaurant is it? And I'm like, it's a Croatian one. They're like, what does that mean?
Right.
And I was like, well,
just started researching myself.
So what ended up happening was I was like, listen, me and my wife are going to Croatia on a baby moon. Why don't you guys meet us there? And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Baby moon is when you have a child and then ditch it. Right?
No.
And just go to another continent.
No, that's what we do now. That's just.
Did you bring the baby with you?
No, she was pregnant with her first.
She's pregnant.
So she was like the last you could fly.
Okay.
Pregnant. And so we went to Croatia.
I think I went to Milwaukee for mine.
Yeah. It's very similar. They both have a great coastline. Lots of great beers. And both cities really enjoy smoking cigarettes. But yeah, so we go there and like, so I have to tell her, I'm like, hey, oh, by the way, these people you've never met, who are my 3 prospective business partners, are going to meet us for lunch in Dubrovnik. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I'm like, just hear me out. We're going to have lunch with them or see how it goes. And like, if it's cool, if you like them, like we're going to have dinner with them the next night. So it was like a weird blind date.
If it goes well.
Setup. So like we went, we had this lunch. We got this awesome place in Dubrovnik. It was on the water. It's like unreal. We have incredible, grilled fish and squid ink risottos and all these things. And just like after the lunch, all of us were like, we have to do this. We're like, this is it. This is, you know what I mean? The vibe of what we're going to do. And so, we figured it out from there.
It's an incredible place, man. I've been there a couple times. If you guys have not been, you got to check it out. And I imagine there were a lot of people wanting to work with you coming off of Top Chef.
Well, so this was the interesting thing, right? So we go to Croatia. This is 2018. So restaurants take forever to open. So we come back, we start looking for spaces, we work out everything else. Basically, all of 2019 is spent looking for a space. Finally find one, work out a lease deal. I sign a lease February 15th, 2020.
Okay. Oh, wow. Jeez. Right before the world falls apart.
So super not ideal.
Yeah.
And so that restaurant, we ended up pushing it. We ended up opening in April of 21. So when we opened in April of 21, we're opening at 50% capacity. So like a lot of people are not working or not ready to go back to work. So like when we were opening this place, it was like, they were like, how many cooks do you need? And it was like, well, I don't know how many I can get. Like we're going to open with what we get.
Yeah.
So it's like even when we went to, when we opened Il Carciofo a year ago, I was talking to my chef and he was like, oh, we had so many less cooks when we opened Rosemary. I was like, yeah, no, that's just because that's all that there were. There just weren't more cooks out there. Like I would have hired more, but there weren't any. So there was like 8 of us and we just like were making it work. And so it was this whole crazy time to open a restaurant. We're at 50% capacity, we're wearing masks, there's all these rules. And it's like, it was just, I remember the first day we opened on April 20th and it snowed.
420?
Yeah.
Are you pothead?
It snowed. No. How dare you? How dare you? But like, and it snowed like 4 inches. And I was like, this is.
Oh my gosh.
And the city's out in front of the restaurant, tearing up the sidewalk in front of the restaurant. And it's snowing. And I'm just like, this is perfect.
How could you tell? I mean, because you probably still could sense a little bit that you had something. That it was, even though it wasn't full capacity, people were talking about it. There was a buzz. You kind of like, were like, this is going to work.
So I didn't know if it was going to work. And then I remember, because like, coming off Top Chef, I'm coming from Spiaggia. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm at the top. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I'm super, hot right now. And we're going to roll into this opening. It's going to be awesome. And then we were a year and a half on the couch. I'm a stay-at-home dad for a year and a half, like just chilling on the South Side. And so I'm like, when we went to open this, I'm like, will anyone even care anymore? You know what I mean? Like nobody's been to a restaurant in a year. Nobody's opened a restaurant in a year. And like, you know what I mean? Like, like how is this going to go? Like 100 people haven't been in a room together in a year. Like they might just show up and like fist fight each other. Like this is an insane
There was some of that energy coming back out of that too.
You're like based on online, like these people are all going to show up and throw chairs at each other. So, and then I remember we got to the day where we were going to make the reservations live. And so I did big posts on Instagram. I'm like 10 a.m. reservations going live on Tuesday for Rosemary. So people were super stoked. So my business partner, she was in charge of making the reservations live. So she didn't tell me, but apparently she had something to do at 10 a.m. So just randomly at 9:53 a.m., she just opened it up. In my phone, like I was like getting in the car, I was going to get coffee, whatever. I packed the car, my phone's going fucking nuts. And like my brother-in-law texts me, he's like, just made a reservation from Rosemary. And I'm like, no, you didn't. It doesn't open for another 5 minutes. He sends me a screenshot. And then it's just like, boop, 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 like I'm getting 100 texts. Like, and I'm like, I text, I'm like, did you open up reservations? She's like, oh yeah, I didn't think anyone would notice. I was like, they noticed. Like, and so we booked out reservations, and I think we only had it open for 2 months from, the day, in like 11 hours.
Wow.
And I was like, oh.
That's a good feeling.
I was like, maybe we do have something.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's just we're coming out of the pandemic. People want to just go out. But it was like, maybe this is something. Then it rolled from there, and it was just crazy. You know what I mean? And now 4.5 years later, it's still, a monster.
Oh,
it's
still
cranking.
You can't get
it's
in
just,
there. Yeah.
It's incredible. So, it's just...
Do you have a lot of people side texting you constantly to get tables, other than me when I'm hitting you on Instagram?
Yeah. And it's like, I never mind. It's always just, it's like if I could do it, I do it. And then it's like, it's the people who are like, an hour before, they're like, hey, can I get like 10 people in? I'm
Right.
like, when?
Yeah.
They're like, at 7:00 tonight. It's like, bro, it's Saturday. That's an hour from now. It's like, no, I don't have that. They're like, there's nothing you could do. It's like, what?
Yeah, what would you expect?
Like, where would I? Like, it's 10 people. That's
Yeah.
not a reasonable amount of people to just show up with. If you showed up at my house with 10 people, I'd be pissed if you didn't give me more than an hour's notice. Like, you know what I mean? Let alone we're jamming in the middle of a busy service, and you're just like, is this not cool?
Yeah, right. I know people are always clamoring to get in there, though, and your new spots, because you do have such a great reputation for just starting really not even that long ago. You were going to culinary school. What year did you go to?
Went to culinary school at 2007.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? I've been at it for about 19 years. You know what I mean? I started in restaurants when I was 16. And then really started, my first cook
16. Which restaurant?
Joe Daniels in Palos Heights.
No kidding.
123rd in Harlem.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great spot. What were you doing there?
I was busboy, barback, delivered pizzas, washed dishes, whatever.
Whatever it took.
Anything and everything. I worked for, my best friend from high school. His dad ran it. So, it was like, I worked for his dad. His dad was the best. This guy, Pat Doherty, and he, just was awesome. And so it was like I was there all the time. I lived at the place, and I loved it. I fell in love with it right away.
So you meander through working at different restaurants, and then how do you end up on Top Chef?
So that was just kind of happenstance.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking to try to go on Top Chef. I was at work. And so Top Chef, they'll come to town and they'll do castings. So they'll be like, hey, we're in Chicago. If you want to apply for this year, you can come. And then you go and you interview. Sometimes they make you cook, whatever. So apparently they were in Chicago. They did a casting. They didn't find anyone. And who I was working for at the time, Tony Montuano, he had been on Top Chef Masters. One of his previous chefs had gone on Top Chef, Sarah Grunberg. So they called him.
This is where you're working with him at Spiaggia?
At Spiaggia, yeah. So
Which is, for other people that don't know, this is like this Michelin star Italian
this was
spot.
the only Michelin star Italian restaurant that has ever existed in the city of Chicago. You know what I mean? This was it had a 37-year run. It really defined what, Italian cuisine was in our city.
I think the Obamas went there the night he was elected president.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible... every famous person on earth had eaten there. It was an insane place to work. But so they called Tony, and they're like, hey, we're in Chicago. We haven't met anyone. Do you know anyone we should talk to before you leave? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I got this guy who works for me, Joe. He's like, you got to meet him. And so Tony calls me, and he's like, hey, the Top Chef producers are in town. I told them they should meet you. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, just take a meeting. And I was like, all right, I'll take a meeting. And so they show up. We talk for 45 minutes.
Were you nervous? Were you?
No.
It's feels like an audition in a way, right?
Yeah, but it was just a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were just talking, and I also just didn't think I had any shot.
Nothing to lose, right?
So it was like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're not going to pick me. You know what I mean? I'm not I don't have some crazy story. You know what I mean? I'm just another jagoff from the South Side. It's like...
That's a great story.
So
we love that word, by the way, jagoff. We're going to give out some free lotion for that.
So they come in, they talk to me, we go through this whole thing. At the end of it, the lady's like, she goes, you should do this. She's like, it's a long process. You have to go through a bunch of things. She's like, but...
They liked you on the spot.
She was like, I think you should move forward with this. She's like, I think you do well. And I was like, all right. I talked to Tony, I talked to my wife, and they were both like, yeah.
What kind of a commitment is it? Where do they shoot it?
So that season they shot in Colorado. They changed the location every year. But it's a huge commitment. You go for 2 months and you're completely off grid. You're not allowed to tell people where you're going. So you have to make up a cover story. And you get there day one, they take your phone, they take your wallet, they take all your shit, and you're off grid till you're done. And it doesn't matter if you go out episode 1 or if you win the whole thing, everybody gets their phones back, day, whatever, 61.
Come on. Are you serious? So you're like in like a boot camp.
Yeah. So
you're gone.
just,
you can't, you check in with your wife, no?
They let you make a phone call every like 3 to 5 days. And it was 10 minutes on camera, on speakerphone, on a producer's phone.
Oh, man.
So like you can't have a real conversation.
Right.
You can't be like, what's going on at home? It's like, oh, nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. And then you can't tell them anything of what's going on in the show. So you're just like, they're like, how are you? And you're like, I'm good. Like, how's the weather in Chicago? The weather here is nice. Like, it's like horrible.
It's like you're being held captive. Like
Right. You know what I mean?
an
It's like,
abducted
right.
human.
I'm totally fine. Everything's fine. Like, you're living in a house with a bunch of strangers. I'm sleeping on a bunk bed from like IKEA that is not made for an over 6 foot tall man to lay on.
Yeah.
And so it's like this whole crazy thing, right? So it's a massive commitment. So I decided to do it. So there's a couple more rounds of interviews. You have to, you send them some menus, you send them pictures of dishes, you make it to the next round. You do a couple more interviews, you make it to the next round. And then finally, like the last round is you have to do a health, a mental, and then you're supposed to fly to LA to do an in-person interview. And so, but at the time I had already planned a trip to Italy to go like stage at restaurants, to go just like work at restaurants. And I was like, yeah, I can't come to LA.
You're just going to go to Italy and just like work in the kitchen of different restaurants? Do you have like that all set up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was going to spend a couple of weeks there. So I'm like, can't come to LA, whatever, if that's a deal breaker, I'm choosing Italy. So then my last interview, they're trying to like Skype me in. This is like 2017 in Italy. So it's like the internet, like
Before Zoom.
Barely
Skype.
exists. We were Skyping.
Yeah.
We're literally, I'm trying to Skype from my sous chef's parents' basement in like right outside of Florence. It's just like not working. So then finally I'm on a phone call with him. I'm like, dude, I just absolutely trashed this. Like it went so bad. I was like, this is like the whole thing. It was like supposed to be a 30-minute thing. It took like 4 hours because we couldn't get connected. And then at the end of it, I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? I ended up, it was my last night staying at this place. I cooked dinner for the family. They put the kids to bed. We sat in the kitchen and we drank Amaro till 2 a.m, smoking cigarettes at their kitchen table. And I was like, well, fuck it. If I don't make Top Chef, this was one of the greatest nights I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then I got back to the States and they were like, hey, that interview didn't go great. And I was like, you don't say. And they were like, we want to do one more with you on Skype with all the head producers. And I was like, all right, sat down, did that one. They gave me a call a week later. They're like, hey, you need to be in Colorado in 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, they must have really seen something in you and knew that you had this, because you do have a good story. You say like, oh, you don't have but you're like so relatable and you're like the guy that everybody's like, hey, maybe I could be Top Chef.
Yeah. I mean,
I love that that you're over there and the way you win. Because I watched, and if anyone has an opportunity, go on YouTube. There's like a 9-minute video of Joe's journey on Top Chef, which says it all. I mean, you were bounced. You were eliminated, which is pretty remarkable that you turn out winning it. Talk about that. Like, how'd you get kicked off?
Yeah, so it was crazy. So, like, going through the season, and I just won, they do this Restaurant Wars thing, which is, like, one of the biggest episodes of the season. My team had just won that. I had just won that individually. And then the next morning, they had a quickfire elimination. So, like, in watching it, it was a week apart. But in real time, it was a day later because you film every day.
Oh, yeah.
So literally a morning later, we do a quickfire elimination. I get booted on a quickfire elimination. So
what was the task for the quickfire?
It was, I don't remember the first part of it, but then there was a second cook where you had to substitute a grain for a vegetable in place of it. And I remember I did it, and it was funny because I had seen this dish and I never made it. But the idea is you make a stock out of rice, like risotto rice, so it's super starchy, and then you take the vegetable, you cook the vegetable in it, and the vegetable should hold together like a risotto.
Can you do that in an air fryer?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, totally. Probably a lot quicker too. But I couldn't remember where I saw this dish. I just knew I saw it, and I made it, and it was like crazy, whatever. We had 15 minutes too. So 15 minutes, I ripped through this thing. I put it up. We're standing there at judges' table, and the judge was this guy, David Kinch. David Kinch is a 3 Michelin star chef in California. He has Manresa, wrote a couple cookbooks. And the guy next to me turns to me and goes, I can't believe you made a David Kinch dish for David Kinch.
Oh, this
and
is
I was
his
like,
thing.
I was like, that's where I saw it. I saw it in his cookbook. And I was like, oh, I'm going home. Like, I was like, I made a worse version of one of this dude's most famous dishes for him. It's like, there's no shot he's going to like it. He's going to like absolutely just shit on this
Was
thing.
he flattered at all that you had seen it in his book?
No. He was not at all. He was just like, this is not what it should be good at all. And I was like, no doubt.
So then you get bounced. You get sent to Last
Chance Kitchen.
Last Chance Kitchen.
So then you have to run a gauntlet through there and beat everybody else who gets eliminated to get back on. So,
but you were focused on, you did really want to get back in the mix, right? I mean, you had to have.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people might have been like, "Oh, that was a great experience." I haven't seen my phone in 2 weeks. I got to call my wife, and I miss my life.
Well, you don't get it back though. You just get kicked off and you get sent to a hotel like in the suburbs. And then you're with all the other kicked off people.
Come on, Joe. You don't have a burner? Well, you're Southside Jagoff. You
listen,
said that. I didn't.
Right. I didn't bring a burner. But when I get kicked off, you get your wallet back. You don't get your phone back. So then you go to Walmart, you buy a burner, and then you have a burner.
There you go.
You know what I mean? But so, you get kicked off and you're kind of like, oh, now I'm in a hotel. Now I have like my own room. Now I can do what I want a little bit. You know what I mean? You're still like under chaperone. Yeah, you can do a little more what you want. So it's like kind of like part of you, you're like, I don't know if I... Like, it's so stressful being on it. But then it's like you get back and you're in the kitchen and it's like competitive and you're like, well, I don't want to lose. So then it's like all of a sudden, it's like in real time, it's like I kicked off and then 6 days later, it's like I'm going back in. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, here we go again. Back on the wheel, baby. And then I think just when I went back in, I was cooking so like loose and free because like I'd already lost.
Yeah.
So I was like living on borrowed time. So I was like, oh, nothing matters. So then when I was like cooking like that, I started cooking really, really well and ended up just running through the end of it.
That's cool. And this kind of like, I think a lot of people can relate to that too. Just kind of breaking it all down. It's almost like a pause, rebuild, start it up. And what else came through in this video that I'm talking about of Joe's experience on Top Chef is that everybody loved you, man. All these people were like bummed out when you got eliminated. And here you are competing against them. And then they're all fired up when you come back.
Yeah, it was a weird thing, right? Because like the only people you get to interact with are the people you're competing against.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to make a choice. Like either I'm going to be friends with these people and it's just like we're competing against each other, that's okay. Or like I'm going to lone wolf it and just be like a psycho for 2 months. And like I'm not that guy. Like I'm not that like, what I mean? Like, the lion doesn't need his pride, fucking alpha dude. I'm like, oh, I want to like
social animal.
I want to make friends.
You're people, man of the people.
What I mean? Like so I'm like, I'm here for a good time.
Yeah.
And so I gotten really close with these people and it's like the whole thing's like such an emotional roller coaster that like it was like crazy. Like, I got kicked off and I wasn't crying, but like everybody else was crying. And, remember I got in like the van, the lady's taking me to the hotel. She's like, are you okay?
Did you feel bad about that at all? Like you weren't crying, but everyone else was?
I was like, guys, I'm like, it's okay.
Like I'm the one who's getting
we have these people who were like our talent handlers who like lived in the house with us. And this girl was like, the other talent handler told me, he's like, she was so audibly crying when you got kicked off. He's like, I had to shove her in a bathroom so they didn't pick it up on the sound. And then they like let her come in the parking lot and say goodbye to me. And I'm like, it's okay. Like if this is the worst thing that ever happens to me, like I've lived a pretty fucking rosy life, guys. Like it's, like we'll be all right.
Yeah, you were good in the moment. Like when they say something, you have to say something back. That's tough with reality television, especially when you're talking to judges and like you're being criticized and you got to, react to that. So I want to talk more about that, but I also want to take a moment to talk about a gift you should be giving your loved ones if you care about them at all. How about some skincare products from Tiege Hanley? Are you looking for something uncomplicated, skincare routine? I always ask everyone that comes on here, do you have a skincare routine?
I wash my face like sometimes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to have them. That sounds uncomplicated. And look at the results. Look at this guy's mug. Not the one he's holding. But you guys got to get to Tiege.com. Use the /Pat to get a discount, right? 40% off. It's holiday season. We would love to get you guys started on your routine. Really quality stuff here, Joe. They got everything. They got scrubs, serums, good marinade.
Love a good serum.
You could make something
big serum guy.
Croatian, Italian with something like this. No?
Yeah.
Put something on.
Yeah, the Italians, they love the lotions.
Little vinaigrette. Yeah, they do. So go to Tiege.com/Pat. 40% off your first order, and you get a free gift. We would love to have you guys try it out. It is good stuff. And you're going to leave here with some product today, Joe.
Oh, new skincare routine.
I'm going to get you all set up.
Here we go.
All right. So, Mr. Top Chef from the South Side, you got to have buddies that try and like keep you humble. Are you like, because this is like kind of odd that you're not like just a burger brat guy. Like you can do so much more. And then I'm sure a lot of your buddies make fun of you for this.
No, it's like, it has been since I started cooking. It's like my cousins and everything. My one cousin, I used to live with him. He's like, like one of my best buds did. Like, he would always just be like, he's like, yeah, you think you're like such a good chef. He's like, you probably can't make a fucking Italian beef though. It's like, of course I can make an Italian beef. He's like, I've never seen you make one. And I'm like, it's so like, this was a thing ongoing for like a decade. Because he lived with me and my other buddy who was a chef. And he's like, you guys think you're like the shit, but it's like, you don't even make Italian beefs. And that's the best food that this city's ever made. And it's like, you guys
get it a lot of places too.
He's like, you're like plating your little cute food. And he's like, you can't even make a fucking beef. Like, he's like, you guys are assholes. And
go ahead and marinate your figs.
Yeah.
Have your fancy olives.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, somebody reached out and they were like part of this thing, and they were like, hey, a friend of mine, she was like, we're doing this thing for the restaurant show, and we're going to have an Italian beef cooking competition. And I was like, I'm so fucking in. I was like, put me in. I was like, this is going to settle a score right now. She was like, okay. Like, and so I went, and then I won, and I like sent a picture to my cousin, like flecking him off. I was like, see, I told you I could cook an Italian beef, you fucking.
You still haven't made him one though?
No, absolutely not. He's never getting one. But then it's, it's funny, like, like my dad's a Southside guy. We grew up in the same neighborhood. He's a St. Dennis guy, St. Lawrence guy. And, like, I remember when I was at Spiaggia, the first year I was there, as chef, it's like we had a Michelin star. And the Michelin star, what I mean? At the time, there were 22 one-Michelin star restaurants in Chicago out of, 15,000 restaurants in Chicago. So it was a really big deal. It was a ton of pressure for me. Like, I have to keep it. We've had it for 7 years before I got here. Like, you don't want to be the one to lose it. So massive thing for me. So, awards come out that year. We keep the star. It's huge. It's awesome. And I remember, like, my dad called me the next day, and my mom must have, like, told him right before he called me, like, hey, you say congratulations about the thing, And, like, he left me a voicemail, and it was, like, one of my favorite voicemails. He's like, so, hey, it's your dad, just checking in. Your mom said you won, like, a really a good star award. So, that's good. We're real proud of you for that. Anyways, he's like, did you see that Bears game yesterday? Man, that offensive line, like, what is going on? And it was like 5 minutes of a Bears message that, what I mean? He just had to throw that thing in the front of, like, and it was like, I was like,
yeah, meanwhile, the Bears are probably 5-7. And you're getting the Michelin star.
Yeah, I want a Michelin star, but the Bears' offensive line play is keeping my dad up at night. He's like, it's like they just can't get it together. And I'm like,
do these guys want you to open a spot on the South Side? You get a lot of pressure for that?
I always get that, especially since I moved back to the South Side about 7 years ago. So people are always like, when are you going to do a spot down here? When are you going to do a spot down here? And it's like, it's always something I'd love to do. You know what I mean? But I think it's like one of those things where it's like, it's a little bit harder than people think down there. You know what I mean? And you grew up down there. You know how it is. It's like one side of the street you can have booze, the other side you can't. And it's, hard to make money without that. And then all those places on that side of the street, most of them are just bars.
Right.
So it's like trying to find a space over there isn't as, it's not like being up here in the West Loop where it's like you can put a restaurant on any street corner you want. You know what I mean? In a new building, in an old building, whatever it may be.
Right.
So it's just like, it's not like as easy to do a spot down there. I would love to do one day. Like that for me would be, would be massive. But like, but I think it's just kind of, it's like not a bigger lift, but like a weirder lift than people think.
This is a selfish question because I always take my kids to Top Notch. I love Top Notch. It's a great cheeseburger place on the South Side. It's been there 80 years. Been going there my whole life. What are your thoughts on Top Notch? Can you name a better cheeseburger than Top Notch? You don't like it?
No. You're completely wrong on that. I love Top Notch. But I think people get too obsessed with sometimes the idea of like, oh, well, like, you know, they like ask about Top Notch. They're like, is it the best cheeseburger? And it's like, no, it's not. It's not the best fucking cheeseburger. However, it's awesome. Going there is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not revolutionary. It's a good cheeseburger. And that's great. For a place in your neighborhood that looks like that and feels like that.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when my kids have half days of school or when they have the last day of school where they get out early, take them all down to Top Notch. Them and, you know what I mean, 10 of their friends. And we get milkshakes and fries and burgers. And it's like, it's special.
It's
like,
great
it doesn't
spot.
have to be the greatest cheeseburger on earth. Like, that place is special. It's awesome.
I
Like,
saw
I
a
love
quote.
Top Notch.
I saw a quote, somebody, forget who it was, but he said, if you don't think the best cheeseburger comes from your hometown, you're a sissy. Like, you got to have some pride in a burger in the area you live in. And
Yeah.
if you don't,
I
you're
think
weak.
it's like, I think in Chicago, it's like if your favorite pizza place isn't in the neighborhood you grew up in, like you're either a liar or you didn't actually grow up in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Or sell out or completely out of
But
touch.
it's like if you're a real, you know, person from here, it's like you know where people grew up by like
yeah.
where your favorite pizza place is.
What's your favorite pizza place?
Vito and Nick's.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
yeah, you can't go wrong. Vito and Nick's.
Yeah, and I
That
grew
is
up,
rock
you
solid.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
84th and St.
Dennis
Louis.
guy.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Do you ever go to the place across the street? Some people were talking about that recently. The place
Which one,
across the street.
Angie's or-
Yes, Angie's.
Oh, yeah, I've been to Angie's a whole.
See, I haven't been. A good spot?
Yeah, it's like my dad hangs out there. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah?
mean? Like it's like him and his buddies who like went to St. Dennis, you know, 60 years ago. It's like good, it's solid, you know what I mean? But it's like a weird place.
Can you believe there's a saint named Dennis?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like
Got
strange?
beheaded.
He did?
Yeah. And then a drunk driver hit the statue of him in front of the church when we were in grade school and beheaded it. It was a big talk.
That is.
Yeah.
St. John Fisher, I think, was also beheaded.
That was happening a lot back then.
Yeah. These
Very popular move for
martyrs.
saints.
They did it for us. All right, so you mentioned you're bringing your kids to Top Notch. How many kids? You have 2 kids?
2 kids. I have a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter.
6 and 4. So they're starting to be a little bit more aware. Like, Dad's got a restaurant. Daddy's got, like, you know.
Yeah, like they're into it, and it's cool. You know what I mean? They come down and they hang out.
Do you make their lunches?
Yeah.
Dude, that's got to be. They must be getting hit up for some trades.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll give you this fruit roll up for that Parmesan crusted.
yeah, right. I wish they would do it, but no, it's like, you know what I mean? Like my son's like, he's like an old man. He's like turkey and cheese.
Oh, yeah? What kind of cheese?
You know,
American?
American cheddar. You know what I mean? The orange cheese.
But you're making lunches before you head in.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, it's like
What do you
because
make?
I only get home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not home for dinner 5 nights a week. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like morning is my only guaranteed time with the kids. So now I've become like, I'm like a super early morning person. So it's like I'll be up, gym, and back before they're awake. And then like...
What time do you get up?
4:30.
Come on.
Yeah.
4:30.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were making Italian food, not donuts.
So yeah, well,
Oh.
we're making donuts at Bar Tutto.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, we actually are. We were just testing them yesterday.
Yeah, this is the new
Delicious.
place, Bar Tutto.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an all day. I love the concept. This is
Yeah.
based on your time in Europe, being over there and
Yeah.
seeing everything that's
Yeah,
available.
those great like neighborhood spots, you know what I mean? Where in like the morning it's your coffee spot, pastry spot, you know, you can stop there, have like a nice sit down lunch or just get a sandwich to go and then, you know, come back and like sit and have dinner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And have a, you know, bottle of wine, hang out, but like, you know, real kind of that, you know, neighborhood meeting spot. Like casual, like it's Tuesday, like where should we go? It's like, oh, we'll slide down to Bar Tutto, we can sit at the bar, you know what I mean? Have a couple plates, a couple glasses of wine and hang out.
That sounds like a cool place, Bar Tutto. I like the name. How do you come up with the names for your places?
All different ones. You know what I mean? Rosemary came up because my wife suggested the name Rosemary because
There's 2 words.
it's 2 words. She suggested it as one because the herb grows all along the Adriatic coast, all along Italy and Croatia.
Yeah, I know that.
And it's good fortune in both Italian and Croatian cultures. Like when we got married, there was rosemary in the vases on the table because it's like classic, like kind of a good luck thing. And she had suggested that, but I also knew there was a restaurant in New York that was named Rosemary already. But my Italian grandmother is Mary and my Irish grandmother was Rose. So that's why it's two words. It's Rose.
Oh, that's
and Mary.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's how that came about. Il Carciofo came about because in my time in Rome, when I cooked there, the first time I went there and cooked, it was in the spring. And when you go to the markets in Rome in the spring, they're just loaded with artichokes. So carciofo in Italian means artichoke. Which
And then
I know you
Il
know
is
that,
for
but-
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois artichokes, the Illinois Artichoke Association. But yeah, so you know, it's the artichoke because like when I think of Rome, like you know, artichokes are just so synonymous with it for me.
That's unbelievable. Like you think of Rome, you think artichokes. I'm trying to think what I think of when I think of Rome. Like Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator. Should just call it Russell Crowe.
That'd be a great name. Bar Crow.
Dude, I got on a plane the other day, and this dude had a Gladiator 2 hat on. And I was like, where did you even get that? You're just rocking a Gladiator 2 hat in first class. I'm like, did you make that movie?
Craft
like,
services.
That's got to be the only reason you own that hat is because like you paid for part of that movie. Like, it's insane.
I heard it wasn't even that good. Have you seen it?
How could it be that good?
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Did you like the first one?
Well, yeah, everybody liked the first one, dude.
Yeah. Which makes you want to see the next one, no? I mean, in a way.
You would think.
But yeah.
You would think.
But I had heard enough that I was like,
yeah.
But then at first I was like, oh, Denzel's in it. Like, this is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I'll be on a flight. It'll be on it, and I'll watch it. And I'll be like, oh, this sucks. And then I'll watch it 3 more times.
That is so good. The question I also wanted to ask you was when you're going into these places now, like you have to kind of use a different skill set. You're not just the chef anymore. Like you're running these places. You're staffing them. You got to be behind the scenes, and now you're opening new spots. That doesn't seem natural for a lot of chefs to be able to like pivot like that.
I mean, I think it is and it isn't. It depends on the chef. You know what I mean? And I think for me, it's I kind of love a lot of different aspects of the business. You know, I do like the business part of it, and I'm not like doing accounting. You know what I mean? I have 3 business partners. One of them is a finance guy. He does all the accounting.
But you studied accounting, didn't you?
I did for 2.5 years, and then I quit.
Yeah.
It's a great move
To do this.
Yeah, to do this.
Which
very
is
unpopular move, but it was a very
unpopular in your family.
Yes, at the time.
And you were like, because you were like, I don't know what I'm really doing, but I think maybe I could do full time.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore, and I'm gonna go do this. And everybody was like, "What do you mean?"
That's when you went to culinary school.
Yeah, I just dropped out. I like literally just dropped out of college one day, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to culinary school."
Did you? When you go to culinary school, is that like that's every day, all day? Are you living there?
No, because I was living in my parents' basement because I was like, I had to move back home, so I had money to go to culinary school, and so I'm living in my parents' basement in Beverly. I'm going to culinary school.
That would be a great place to name something. A restaurant.
My parents' basement?
Yeah. Great place to hang out in. Open all day.
Well, the funnier thing is even too, so I'm going to culinary school there. I ended up, my buddy who lived actually with me and my cousin, before he lived with me and my cousin, he ended up, me and him were supposed to move in together. I was working at a place that was open for 3 days, closed, never got paid. I was like, yeah, I don't have any money to move out. He's like, well, I don't have any roommates anymore, and he's from Wisconsin. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe my parents will let you move into their house. So then I had to go to them, and I'm like, hey, my buddy Joe needs to like move in here for a while, you know.
Hey, I'm dropping out of college, and also
so you know, I'd already dropped out of college at this point. The disappointment was piling up, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not moving out. My buddy's moving in, and so you know.
But hey, how about that Bears offensive line, Dad? Let's not talk about
tell
anything
you
else.
This is the most like Southside conversation in Chicago about it. Like my dad's like, I don't know this guy. Like, what do you tell me about him? I'm like, oh, he's a good guy. You know, I'm like, he's Polish, Italian, you know, Catholic kid from, you know, Wisconsin. I go, but he's a Bears fan. My dad's like, well, he sounds like an all right guy. You know what I mean? And so they let him move in.
Here's the key.
Yeah. I'm like, they let him move in. I'm like, we'll be here a month. We end up being there for, 9 months, 10 months. And they love him. You know what I mean?
Probably loved hanging, get the
time. It was
time.
the best. You know what I mean? Like, it was me, him, and my I have a brother who's 13 years younger than me. So it was like me, him, and my little brother, like in the house because my sisters had moved out.
Yeah.
So it was like wild. You know what I mean? And we were just hanging out and, cooking. And, my mom was running the 22nd district at the time on midnight. So we would bring up food for all the,
yeah, this is very cool. Your
coppers.
mom was with the Chicago Police Department for...
Yeah, for 30 years. She was retired as a lieutenant.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what did your dad do?
He was an accountant. He's a deacon now.
Oh, and now he's a deacon. Love that.
Yeah, we're like true proper Southside.
What are your privileges as a deacon? Like, you can read the gospel, but you can't give the homily, right?
No, you can give the homily, but you can't read the gospel. You got it backwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that shifted then. It used to be different because the guy would come out and read it, and then he would leave, and then the other guy would...
Yeah, no, I think you got it backwards. But you could baptize people. That's the big one.
Oh, that's good.
You could do the baptisms, and you could do...
weddings?
The dead ones.
Funerals.
Yeah, the
dead ones.
But the last rites. I think you do last rites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's got to be busy.
He's a busy guy.
Has this trickled down to you? Do you have a lot of faith? Are you...
I let him handle that aspect of it. He handles the church. I handle the cooking, and we just we both
Keep
have
it
our
separate.
lane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you did go to Catholic school. As I mentioned that we went to the same high school, and I want to get some of that out of you in a minute. But in a minute, we'll do that. I want to remind everyone, though, to get to Tiege.com to start your skincare routine. We talked about it earlier, guys. Are you looking for something affordable and uncomplicated? Well, you can start right now with a AM, some wash, some super serum, scrub, all these things that we have at Tiege.com. I myself am I started doing, was episode 14?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell how
you're
much
glowing.
It's changed. My dermis.
Yeah.
You know, that skin?
Yeah, your dermis is.
Yeah.
I mentioned that when we were walking in. I was like, there's something different about your dermis. Heard a lot of people talking about it in the neighborhood.
It
Every
is your
word I hear-
largest organ, after all. It is your largest organ, by the way.
Largest organ. I would, every word I hear now, I'm like, that'd be a good name for a joint.
Yeah, the dermis.
Dermis.
Welcome, especially on the south side. Welcome to the dermis.
The offer right now, if you use Tiege.com/Pat, you get 40% off your first order. And guys, as I mentioned, this is gift giving season, right? Black Friday is upon us. That's why we're giving you 40% off. We have a whole lot of items online that you can make great gifts. I know we have a lot of women out there listening, tuning in. Buy that man in your life something to treat himself with. Get him started on a skincare routine. So, like I mentioned, we're going to set you up with some stuff before you get out of here. But I want to talk about Marist High School because this is funny, dude. So I called Joe the other day, a little pre-interview. You guys don't realize how much work goes into this podcast. I throw around the word uncomplicated, but that doesn't really apply to all the
legwork.
all the
doing. Yeah,
gumshoe
really
legwork. Just
like an investigative journalist out there.
So I called Joe, and we know that we both went to Marist. And I'm talking to him like, hey, maybe we talk about Marist. Have you been back? Have you? Can I tell him what you said to me?
My wife's like, don't go on this podcast and shit all over Marist. And I was like, I might. She's like, I'm not responsible for you. I'm like, you never have been.
I have a great relationship with Marist still. Like, I just kind of
very happy for you.
So I'm talking. I'm like, and I'm expecting that from you too, because I know they're proud of you, man. You went there, you matriculated through, and then. He says, you talked about a dean that I know, a dean of discipline, who was also my history teacher when I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That must have been a hell of a class.
And he says to Joe at graduation, we shook your hand and said...
No, he refused to shake my hand. I went up to shake his hand. He put his hand down, and he said, don't ever come back.
Really?
And I've never stepped foot back in that school since
Just
then.
because of that one guy?
Well, we had a thing, him and I.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah, I wasn't saying it was undeserved. Like, I don't think I'm innocent in this by any stretch of the imagination.
What could have possibly... Because if you got through 4 years, you didn't get kicked out.
I did not get kicked out.
Were you ever suspended?
No.
So what was following you? What was the reputation?
So what happened, there was a number of things that, him and I had gotten into it about over the years. It was a 4-year situation, right? And I think it really came to a head senior year at lunch. They used to let the seniors eat outside.
Yeah.
So for some reason, for a lot of reasons, they weren't going to let us do that. Our specific class of senior lunch.
I didn't do that. We couldn't do that on my senior year. Was it co-ed when you went?
Girls started when I was a junior. We got freshman girls.
Oh, okay.
So when I graduated, there were freshman, sophomore girls, but I was one of the last 2 all-guys classes.
So that changes the environment. It's got to, no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had to go to sensitivity training the first year before the girls came, and he taught it.
Oh, no.
And he's like, don't look at the girls. Don't make eye contact with them. Don't corner them. Don't, you know what I mean?
What?
It's like, what?
We can't corner them?
Like, you know what I mean? He's like, don't touch them. You can't just go up to them. And it's like, we have seen we go home
sisters.
after this.
Yeah.
Like, we leave here like most of the day, dude. We come here for like 7 hours a day, 9 months a year. Like, and then we fucking leave and interact with humans. Like, we're not just like, we don't walk out of here and just start like tackling the girls from Macaulay on the bus. Like, it's a woman, tackle her. Like, it was absolutely insane.
I'm picturing like a diagram, and he's got like a pointer. This is a girl. Yeah, this is what they
look
like.
Don't look them in the eyes, and you're like, what do you mean don't look them in the eyes? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to bite our faces if we look at them in the eyes? Like,
this is what they look like freshman year. This is what they might look like senior year.
So it was a whole ass thing. And, this was, we obviously took it to heart. And
were some of you guys like, hey, I didn't I didn't go to a co-ed high school. I enrolled in an all boys high school.
Have you ever been at a party and a bunch of girls showed up and been like, "Oh, this isn't what I wanted"? No, you haven't.
But this is school.
Okay. Oh, God forbid, there's
So you're
something
fired
distracting at school. So anyways, we go through all this. So senior year, we're supposed to be able to eat outside. Not able to eat outside. So we take offense to this. So we created a bit of a situation in the lunchroom of protest, if you will, peaceful,
Popping
mind you,
bags.
of wanting to eat outside. And so we were on the tables, we were screaming, we were yelling, and we did this every day for like a week. And then finally, deed of discipline comes down. He's like, "All you guys, Flamm, all you out of here." And so then he threw us out of lunch for a month, and then he ate lunch with us every day for a month in like the little auditorium.
Oh, until you guys got it together.
That's where I think it deteriorated further from there, because then we would have these conversations during lunch where it's like he would just, you know what I mean, like yell at us, and like him and I would really get into it.
What a missed opportunity. You could have been like elevating his lunch. You could have been seasoning it. You could have been like, "Hey, there's a good side with this."
Well, the funny thing is, one of these lunches, he's like, you know what your problem is, Flamm? He's like, "You're just a fucking moron." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, for sure." And
Another great name for a restaurant.
And he's like, "You think you're gonna go to college next year? And if they don't give you books, you're just gonna scream, 'Give me books'?" And I was like, "Why would they not give me books?" You know what I mean? I'm like, usually I haven't been yet, but I assume when I go there, if I give them money, they're gonna give me books. I think that's the interaction. And he's like, and he's like getting really bad. And because there's like a room full of us, and he doesn't like this where it's going. And so finally, he's like, "I can't wait for 2 years from now." He's like, "Your parents are going to come in here and they're going to be like, 'What is wrong with my son? He's out of college and now he's just flipping burgers for a living.' And I'm going to tell him, 'Well, Mr. and Mrs. Flamm, it's because he's a fucking moron.'" And I was just like, and it was like, I couldn't stop laughing. It was one of the funniest things anyone's ever said to me in my life. But then when I made a career in cooking, I was like, to be fair, he like called it.
Right.
He like called it like to the T. Like he just didn't think it was going to go well. Like, which no one else did either. But you know what I mean? It was kind of like awesome.
And no like urge to go back and like kind of above it all, semi rub it in. Like, look what I did end up accomplishing. And
I'm kidding.
maybe in some way he motivated you.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I got no ill will towards, towards our ex-dean discipline. You know what I mean? Like his family is coming to the restaurant. His nephew was a good friend of mine in high school.
You think he's ever been visited by like the ghost of Marcelin Champagne, the father of the Maris brothers?
Walking in with the light through the snowstorm to visit him.
He's a Michelin star winning chef now.
Yeah, so that was a really funny one. But yeah, so I've never been back.
Never been back.
Wow.
Did you enjoy your time there while you were there? Was
Not
there like
really.
any like? No, not really.
No.
Any prank, anything that went on? Because I mean, there was funny stuff going on all the time. I feel like.
Yeah. I remember one of the big ones was these guys got in trouble for it. Like they got a lot of trouble for it. The one guy was supposed to get like drafted in the MLB, and they were like, "Oh, he might not get drafted." It was like a whole thing because they planted 3 very large trees in the middle of the soccer field for a senior prank, which like doesn't seem like that big a deal, except they stole the trees from the ag school and they stole a piece of construction equipment to do it.
They planted trees in the middle of the soccer field.
Like, I mean, the size of this room, like 3 of them. It looked incredible. It actually, like, they did a nice job too, like, honestly. But like, so that was a shitstorm. So like after that, it was like really like they were like, if you guys do, so then they wouldn't let these guys walk at graduation. They were trying to get this guy scholarships, stripped from him, but they were like, yeah, we don't care. This guy's awesome at baseball. You know what I mean? Like we don't care that he's an asshole.
Did he get drafted?
I don't know if he got drafted. I don't know
Was
what
it
happened.
Gorzolani? No, he
I don't
played
think
in
so.
MLB. Are you a sports fan? Are you in?
I am a sports fan. Yeah.
Are you a White Sox fan?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever feel like, when people find out you're from Chicago, because this happens to me a lot. I don't know if you can relate to this. When people find out I'm from Chicago or they know I'm from Chicago, one of the top 3 questions is Sox or Cubs.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Or if they go right to Cubs, that's the worst one. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
like, ooh, you must be excited. It's like, about fucking what? Like, Cubs, huh? It's like, don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah, it is a thing. And I love that you seem to be on the right side of it. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
So you have your 2 kids and your wife, who she's got to be a saint, not tolerating, but it is a lot when someone is doing something like you. You're very passionate about what you do. Your hours aren't really hours. It bleeds into everything that you are. Your job is your personality, everything like that. Where did you meet your wife?
I met her at a party on the south side of my buddy's backyard after college.
Oh, that's nice.
We're playing Flip Cup.
Flip Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is a romance.
Yeah, proper south side romance.
Cue the music. We were playing bags.
Yeah.
She came up to
playing
me.
bags in the backyard. It was one of those parties. I knew everybody there but her. She knew everybody there but me.
And here you guys are.
Yeah, here we are, I don't know, 16, 17 years later.
That's great, man. And she's a Chicago girl.
Yeah, Southsider.
Yeah. And you guys think you think you stay out there in that neighborhood?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, we moved back down there 7 years ago, and I begrudgingly went back to the south side, and I kind of was like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, we've been up north for 15 years. Like, live down here. There's, like, cool stuff. Like, and then we got pregnant. She's like, nah.
Yeah.
We're going back.
Same exact thing that I had. I was living up, Lincoln Park, Lakeview, that area. You do get used to it. But it is a great community where we're from, and I know everyone there is fired up that you kind of hold the flag for the South Side, and you're doing so much great stuff. And you're building up this West Loop where we're at. You got all your spots right over here.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's kind of cool, because the nice thing is like all home is there. You know what I mean? The kids' school, everything, and it's like kind of having those 2 buckets where it's like when I'm there, I get to be, very present and like, it's all the family stuff. And then when I'm down here, getting to be very present on the work as well. I'm like having that little bit of space actually is, works out, I think, to my advantage.
So anyone that's wanting to break into the game, the restaurant game, the cooking game, where do you point people, or what's the road you would like? Because everyone's path is different, right?
Yeah.
But what is a good place to start out, you think? I
mean, I always tell them, like, if you're really considering it, I'm like, just go get a job and work in it. You know what I mean? Like, before you go to culinary school, before you spend money, like, just, if you're going to go to culinary school, go to community college. Find the cheapest way to do it, because it's like, it's not law school. It's not med school. It's not like, oh, you went to Harvard instead of, whatever, Westchester Community College. Like, it's just you're learning how to cook.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't matter if you went to the CIA or if you went to, the College of DuPage. Like, you cook or you can't. So, all that matters is, like, you either spent $100,000 to learn how to cook, and now you're making an hourly wage, or you spent $10,000 to do it because you went to community college. So I'm like, go just get a job and doing what you want to do, and like see how you feel about it, And I kind of like tell the people who I meet along this road of like if they want to do what I do and they want to be a chef and own restaurants and that, and like especially when I talk to like career changers, I'm like, listen, like if you can wake up tomorrow and think about doing anything else, do that thing. Keep it as a hobby, keep it as a fun thing for you, keep it as a passion. But, like, if it is all you can think about, if it's all you want to do, then you should do it. But if you don't feel that way, like, it's just going to feel like a grind.
Yeah.
Like, it has to, like, for me, it's like I can't imagine doing anything else. There's nothing else I want to do. This is what I like, I love it. I love every part of it. I love every part of the restaurants. And, it makes it fun. So it's like, otherwise it's like I couldn't do the long hours. I couldn't deal with all the bullshit if like it wasn't like so ingrained in me of like, I know this is where I should be.
Yeah, that is what we call on the show lotion. That's straight lotion. Everything you just said. That is beautiful. It's a great soundbite. I want to ask you this as an amateur, like, I grill. I wouldn't say I cook, but being divorced, I got to make a lot of the, come up with meals. And a lot of times I pick them late. I don't, cook in advance or get like meal prep.
Yeah. What
is like the skill to focus on to make it all easier? Like, I wish I was better at chopping vegetables or cutting up, what you're going to be working with. What do you think is a good place to start just to make the home cooking easier?
I think like making the home cooking easier is like realizing your wheelhouse, right? If you're like, I like to grill, so if you like it, you'll get better at it, right? The more you do it. So if you're like, I like to grill, then focus everything that is like an active project as grilling, right? Yeah. So whether you're doing meat or vegetables, whatever, I'm going to grill everything. If you suck at chopping and you don't want to get better at it, then like avoid it. You know what I mean? Just try to not do stuff that needs knife work. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff. Be like, I'm going to buy 2 prepared salads and then I'm going to grill everything else. You know what I mean? Cheat it to the way where it works for you. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to like cut a bunch of stuff to make coleslaw, buy potato salad, whatever it is, so you can focus all your time and energy on the grill.
Yeah.
And like focus on the thing that is your wheelhouse. And then like you'll just get better at that. And you'll realize you can do more and more things with that.
Build
the
out.
more you focus on the grill, you're like, oh, I can throw broccoli on here. I can throw carrots on here. I can throw, I can microwave sweet potatoes for 10 minutes in a paper towel, and then I can throw those on the grill. Like, and you'll just build that repertoire where it's like now you have more and more stuff that you can do in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to like go out on a whim of like, oh, it's going to be, Pat's paella night. And it's like, don't do that. Nobody wants your paella, Pat.
If I made paella, oh man, I'd have a revolution on my hands.
Yeah.
I'd be like a lot of pissed off kids. Do you get fulfillment still out of? Because it does feel good when you cook for people, and you see everyone. Are you gonna be making Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah.
You will.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Do you put a little slant on that? Like what's the wrinkle you throw in to make that?
No, it's, what I mean? For me, it's like, we have a big family. It's still at my grandma's house, so it's still my grandma's rules. So I just execute,
Is this Rose or Mary?
Oh, no, Rose is long past. This is Mary.
Okay.
So, and it's like, we make the raviolis ahead of time. So I'll cook the raviolis and I'll carve the turkey and, we do all that. But like cooking at home is such a different speed. You know what I mean? Than like restaurant cooking. Restaurant cooking, you're like cooking with, like it's like a purpose. It's like we're at a pace. We are like, it's way different than when it's like my day off. There's nothing I like more than cooking at home.
Oh yeah.
Like I love going to restaurants, but it's like, especially like summertime, I'm like, and I feel the same as like, well, if I'm cooking for 4, I can cook for 40. So it's like it's like one of my kids' teachers asked them, they're like, do you guys just have like parties at your house every weekend? And my wife was like, why? She's like, because we do this thing on Mondays where we ask the kids what their favorite thing of the weekend was. She's like, and I feel like half the kids in this class every other weekend are like, we were at Luca's house for a barbecue. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, if I'm cooking, I'm cooking. And I'm just like, yeah, whoever, come over.
That's incredible. What's your address?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
So you have any tips? For the people cooking at home, maybe for Thanksgiving or what's your
this is my biggest tip always of like just becoming a better cook in general. And it's like, it's so simple, but people don't do it. It's like, taste your food. Like taste your food as you're cooking it. And people are like, oh, well, like if you slice the turkey and it's dry, melt some butter, brush it over. If it needs more salt, sprinkle some salt on it. It's better because you tasted it and you adjust it. If you just taste and adjust, like you will be exponentially a better cook instantly.
Yeah.
You're making, mashed potatoes. You taste them. And you're like, oh, these need salt. Oh, these need butter. But it's like people just make stuff. They're like, well, I followed the recipe. It's like, yeah, but like a recipe's a guideline.
Right.
This isn't baking. Like we're like making shit.
Do you ever serve something you made and someone's like, hey, look, someone's eating this. Looks like someone took a bite out of this because you've been trying it the whole time?
Yeah, you're just taking bites out of steaks. Yeah, we're a little bit more craftier than that.
You got to hide it a little bit. The last thing I want to ask you, you got this new place opening up. This is number 4.
Yep.
And you're seeing people come in all the time. Do you notice when someone comes in and maybe get nervous if someone that you see, like we talked off, before we started here about the Melmans. You did work briefly for Let Us Entertain You.
Yeah.
And then they came into your spot. They came into Rosemary. And the sons did.
Yeah.
RJ and Jared. And then they brought in Rich
Yeah,
Melman.
they brought in their dad, that was awesome. You know what I mean? Like just incredible for me, like kind of full circle moment of like, this guy I worked for when I was 19 sitting in my restaurant was like kind of mind blowing.
Do you make sure that you're the guy making the stuff when someone comes in? Like,
no, it's like I'm still, it's like usually I'm at the pass, and so I'm overseeing every dish go out. You know what I mean? Like I can't make every dish, so it's like more important to me that I'm seeing every dish. I'm managing the flow of service, and I'm making sure that quality is across the board, and that my chefs are doing the same thing. So when it's people like that, like I'm making sure, I'm like, like letting my cooks know. I'm like, hey, this is, it's Pat fucking McGann over here. You know what I mean? Like make that nice.
Have you ever cooked for Michael Jordan?
I have.
You have?
Technically, I worked for Michael Jordan.
Come on, talk us through that.
So I worked at this restaurant called Belly Q. But I was opening, it was a Korean barbecue restaurant, and we opened a ramen shop. And I was opening sous chef there, and it was owned by the Cornerstone Group. Cornerstone Group also owns Michael Jordan's Steakhouse, which he is a partner in.
Yeah.
So for the soft opening, my boss, Michael Jordan, came.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Does that catch you at all? Are you like,
Oh yeah, it's super sick. And it's just like it's wild. I've gotten to cook for, I've cooked for an incredible.
come on,
list of
throw
people.
some names out.
I've cooked for 4 sitting presidents. I've cooked for, I've cooked for LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry. I've cooked for Jay-Z, Beyonce, Lady Gaga.
Wow. When they come in, do they have tasters? Like when you're cooking for the president? Are they?
So when the president comes in, you have Secret Service there. And like they don't necessarily taste, but what they'll do a lot is like they'll be like, okay, like we had W at Spiaggia when I was there for an event. And they were like, okay, he ordered this. He ordered the salmon, not the ravioli. And you're like, okay. And you're just going and you're cooking, and Secret Service is in the kitchen. They tell you the rules.
You ever put them to work? Like, hey, hand me that. Go grab me a whisk.
I cooked at the State Department, and I was like plating like 125 plates by myself. And my old chef, he took a picture of it, and it's like I'm like 100 plates in this hallway, and it's just me. And then there's like a member of like every, to be like FBI, DEA, ATF, like Homeland Security, like lined up behind me. Like just standing in the hallway watching me play. It's like, can one of you guys like grab like anything?
Make yourself useful.
Grab a fucking garnish. Like the other 9 of you can watch me and make sure I'm not a terrorist. But like maybe get a plate wipe. You know what I mean? Is that too much to ask? Like, but yeah. So, but they'll be like, oh, they want that, and then they'll just come up and they'll be like that plate, and they'll just grab a plate, and they'll be like, bring it to them. And sometimes it's not the thing they said. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, it's they'll grab. If they said fish, they'll grab the ravioli. Or they will grab the real fish. So you don't know kind of what's going to them.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of how it works. But they'll be like, oh, we need a mac and cheese for that table. And let's say you're making, we cooked for Obama. You had 3 mac and cheese in the window. And they were like, that one. You're like, okay.
That's what he wanted, mac and cheese?
Well, I was at table 52 at the time. We were really famous for our mac and cheese.
Oh, you were? All right. Love that. Well, dude, I don't want to keep you. I know you're a busy man and you got a lot of stuff going on. You're opening a new place and you're managing all these other ones. And, dude, I'm like, thank you again for coming here. But also, like,
I was in the neighborhood.
Everything you got going, you're a young man, too. I mean, you're going to really, I'm excited to see what else you do moving forward, man.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Joe Flamm, everyone. Make sure you check him out on socials. You're pretty active on Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me at InstaFlam.
Is it InstaFlam?
InstaFlam.
InstaFlam. Has anyone ever encouraged you to change your name to Joe Flamm?
No, they haven't.
No?
That hasn't come up.
Too porny?
Too porny, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Especially for Catholic school.
The ones that they told you never to come back to. All right, everyone else, check out Tiege.com. Get to the website. Use that code /Pat. Get yourself 40% off. And as I mentioned, it's gift giving season. You guys can purchase a gift and get someone started on their uncomplicated skincare routine today. Next week, we're sticking in this lane that we got here, Joe. We got RJ and Jared Melman coming in next week, and we're going to talk to them. And then we also have, who we got coming up? Pat Boyle is coming up. Robin Baumgarten from WGN Morning News. We got some great things. Leave us a review. Get to the Apple Podcast page, leave us a review, send us an email at thepatmcgannshow@tiege.com. Don't forget, I do have a couple tickets to my show at Zany's Rosemont, Sunday, December 21st. You can grab some, you can win some tickets here. Send us an email, leave us a review, we'll put you in the raffle. Joe, thanks, dude. This has been a lot of fun, man.
Super fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Take care.